Yeah, we can count the points, but it was the defense that was spectacular for the Boston Celtics. Welcome to Game Time presented by Kia. Chris Miles here with Smitty. The Atlanta Hawks have never won a playoff series when down 0-2. They are 0-24 in their history. When I look at how the Boston Celtics were able to dominate this game once we got past the first quarter, so the last three quarters, Smitty, it started with defense. They had 12 blocks, and that led to 15 fast break points. The defensive end, they never let up.
They didn't. I think when you look at the Boston Celtics, we stated it earlier, they have length, they have size at every position, and they displayed that. Not only did they have the blocks, they had 10 steals and the contest shots and just disrupted because of guys can switch. You see, if you don't have guys that can overpower them, whether they block it or not, they're going to contest. We're showing all these block shots, and Derek White has been phenomenal. I just think whenever you can switch and don't feel like, okay, there's a guard on a big and we have to go down there and double, most of their guards are like, hey, we good, we're good. Let me play them for a second. And I think that's been the difference defensively. They're just locked in, and the Hawks right now don't have too many guys can make a play off the dribble for themselves, and then they still need some more points in the paint. That was another area where they just got destroyed, the Hawks, in this game too.
You said several things there, so I'm trying to go like
it was a lot.
It was a lot, right? So let's focus on the fact that Derek White, right, led all guards in the NBA in blocks this year, right? Also had 14 of his 26 in the fourth quarter, and just was amazing for them when it mattered most.
It was. I mean, he's a 6'5" guard, and not because of his height. He has perfect timing. He does a nice job of bodying up and then making you shoot over the top of him. And we see what he's done offensively. So you're starting to talk about Derek White, you know, being able to have his impact on winning at a high level on the offensive end and on the defensive end. And he doesn't force shots. He plays within the offense. He's just a great fit for the Boston Celtics. And, you know, last year he was just getting his feet wet. But I think right now he is entrenched into this Boston Celtics starting lineup.
Points in the paint, to your point, 64-40 advantage for the Celtics. And it was one of those things where you go, hold on. You mentioned before the game that the Hawks needed an inside presence. They didn't have enough of that.
No, I mean, together the power forward, John Collins and Clint Capella, 9 points. They did come up with 13 rebounds, but they just need more than that. I mean, because you start talking about that's just the points and that's rebounding. But let's start talking about defending. Somebody has to give some resistance, and that's not just all the bigs. The guards got to do a better job of keeping guys out of the lane. But there's the block shots in the paint. And then there's Malcolm Brogdon throwing to Jaylen Brown. It just feels like the effort is not there. Yes, lack of size is there, but you still got to come out and battle if you're the Atlanta Hawks. You can't give up this many points and this many easy buckets. That was contested. But the way they gave up points in the paint and the way the Celtics shoot the three ball, you can't give up both. They're going to have to find a way. This is just too easy right here. This is just too easy of being able to, once you're down, you get a lead in the first quarter, and then you give up 3 or 4 baskets so easy like that, point blank. It just takes your morale and just deflates you, and you can saw that from the Atlanta Hawks at times.
With 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, the Hawks seemed like, all right, this is done, this is over with. DeJounte Murray went on a tear. He ended up with 29 points, made 7 threes, and it felt like, so you're saying there's a chance for the Atlanta Hawks. How impressive was he in the second half?
He's been impressive in both games since he's been acquired. I just love the way he's played. The three ball, since he entered the league, has gotten much, much better. I mean, he's shooting it with confidence. 11 for 24, probably wanted to shoot it better, but he was the only one that had some life at times where he was just trying to wheel his team. And he got them back in the game in that third quarter. It's just been too much Celtics, and then they go on another 10-0 run, 11-2 run, and that's how it's been.
Smitty, can you name some other Hawks that made 7 threes in a postseason game before?
Yeah, Henry Big Game James, I think. I don't know if you remember Henry James.
I remember Smitty.
Oh, okay.
I remember
yeah.
Smitty doing that in a playoff game.
Yeah, I had 9. I think, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, you know.
There you go.
Shoot or shoot.
Shoot or shoot. There you go. I thought that was a good factoid that DeJounte Murray, second most in the playoff game, and you had done that before. Jason Tatum, 18 points in the first half, finished with 29, 10, and 6. But here's the thing, Smitty. It's like clockwork with him. right? No matter if he's going through a tough stretch, you know at some point he's going to get it going. Why is it that some guys, who we call superstars, all-stars, wherever you want to categorize them, no matter the matchup, the series can just find a way to get it going at some point?
Well, that's when you start, saying superstars. You start saying MVP candidate for Jason Tatum. What do you take away? He's been able to finish at the rim through contact now much better. Mid-range is there. Tough shots and floaters are there. The three ball is there, off the dribble and off the catch. Then he knocks down his free throws, and then he has so many guys around him that gives him space. It's going to be very hard to contain a Jason Tatum each and every night because of so many different ways he can impact scoring and winning because of his skill set.
Looking at the Hawks and their production, I mean, Bogdanovich, Trae Young, they both produced enough. Obviously, that the front court for the Hawks just non-existent. 9 points and 13 rebounds between Clint Capella and John Collins. Let's focus on the positives with Bogdan and Trae Young. What did you like from them in tonight's game? Definitely an improvement from game one.
Yeah, I think, Trae didn't shoot as well like you want him to from the three ball, but he got into the paint. He didn't settle. It went quick, and I didn't think he needed as many pick and rolls. I liked the way he played. I mean, didn't have enough to obviously win this game, but he looks much better. He looked much better than game one. Still would love to see him off the ball a little bit more so he can run off screens and be more effective. I like Bogdanovich the way he played, Onyeka the way he played, but I just think, like you said, when you have Collins and Capella combined 4 for 15 just for 9 points, that's tough. I mean, and I thought DeAndre Hunter was more aggressive, but to shoot 19 shots to give you 18 points and no free throws, and also you got to make your imprint. I mean, for DeAndre Hunter, two-way player, mostly defensively, you got to disrupt those wings for your team to have a chance.
Yeah, as far as the big men go inside, Onyeka Okongwu arguably had the best game, 8 points, 9 rebounds. But still, how can they get more from their starting members of their front court?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it's, that's what Quinn Snyder's going to have to look if maybe playing Onyeka, maybe they have to start in lineup, maybe bringing one of those guys off the bench. He's going to have to find a way for them to be productive. If not, you got to make some kind of lineup change or shakeups. It's just 2 games. But it's not just 2 games the way they've lost these. Sometimes you look and say, hey, I feel good going back to Atlanta. They can't feel good right now. And obviously coming back to Atlanta will be great for them, their crowd. But the way they've lost those games can't feel good coming back to Atlanta.
We've addressed some issues for the Atlanta Hawks, who are down 0-2. Remember, in the franchise's history, 24 times that they've trailed 0-2, they have never